We've for far too long just not built enough homes of all tenures. We've got to do better.
I'm here in Stevenage. It's one of the original post-war new towns, and I'm meeting Housing Minister Matthew Pennycook as he announces the new Labour government's plan for building new towns like this all over the country. It comes after Deputy Prime Minister Rayner stood before the House of Commons and announced her plan to get 1.5 million new homes built over the next 5 years. It's an ambitious plan. It's more homes than we've managed to build in decades. But the question is, how many will actually be affordable? We're here today because you're announcing the New Towns Task Force. How are you deciding where these new towns are going to go?
So that's the whole purpose of the task force, is bringing together independent expertise under the chairmanship of Sir Michael Lyons, with Dame Kate Barker as his deputy, to bring forward to ministers a short list of appropriate, suitable sites across the country for these large-scale new communities. And some of them will be classic new towns in the sense of, standalone greenfield sites. Lots of others will be urban extensions, some urban regen projects. The sort of unifying factor, if you like, is that they're over at least 10,000 homes in size. Some will be far larger than that, but it'll be the task force that brings forward that short list of possible locations for ministers to then choose from.
You said 40% of the homes in these new towns will be affordable. How many will be truly affordable? How are we defining affordable here?
Well, I think that's for us to define about in terms of what we want the breakdown of tenures to be under that affordable envelope. What we've been very clear with in terms of the new town code that will come forward is that we do need to target that high level of affordable housing, in part to get these sites built out quicker, but we want them to have truly, genuine mix of tenures, high levels of affordable, but also the infrastructure, amenities, services that communities need to thrive, that access to green space, highly sustainable, nature recovery woven in. So they really want them to be, each of these, in whatever form they take, exemplary developments of the kind that are the exception, not the norm across the country, and we've got to flip that around, if you like, and make sure that these coming forward, as well as other developments coming through local councils on a normal level, have that high quality, great design, great places for people to live.
I think it's fair to say that there is no one in this country that is not impacted by the housing crisis in some way.
Yep.
But I imagine lots of them have never heard of the NPPF, the National Planning Policy Framework. Why should they care about what you're doing this week? What would you say to them?
Well, I would say to them, if you are someone who is stuck in temporary accommodation, if you're on a council house waiting list somewhere across the country, there's now 1.3 million people, as you know, on that list. If you're suffering from unaffordable rents, substandard accommodation, you want to be able to buy, or you're in the private rented sector and you need that genuinely affordable social home to rent, we've got to, one way or another, build lots more homes of all types of tenures. The only way we're going to do that is by pushing the envelope at a local level, ensuring that every part of the country is playing its part in that 1.5 million new home target, but also on top of that, building more large-scale new communities that can add to that target that we've given local authorities through the NPPF and make a real contribution to housing supply. We've for far too long just not built enough homes of all tenures. We've got to do better. So if you're at the sharp end of the housing crisis, that's why we're taking forward the ambitious programme that we are.
One of the criticisms of the planning announcements that the Deputy Prime Minister Rayner made yesterday, with you sitting next to her, is that Labour just want to put new homes in places that vote Conservative. Is that a fair accusation?
I don't think that's fair at all. What we've come up with here is a methodology which we think is fairer, in that it asks every part of the country to do a little bit more. We'll come to London as a sort of exception to that, but every part of the country will be asked to do more. Every metro mayoral combined area will be asked to do more than it's currently doing. And so we do want every part of the country to play its part, but the methodology we're using is a fairer, more straightforward one, less unpredictable, better able to plan on the basis of, and crucially won't lock in, if you like, suppressed housing growth in those areas that haven't been able to grow, need to be able to grow, on the basis of our target will be able to grow. So we want every part of the country to play its part. The exception on our numbers, if you like, is London, but London was given a fantastical figure, I think partly for political reasons that it could never achieve. What we're saying to the Mayor of London is your London plan at the moment is 52,000 homes, you're delivering just over 30,000. We want you to deliver 80,000. The conversation is how we get London to that place. But we think the method is a fairer one. We think it's the basis for aligning, if you like, our local housing targets with that 1.5 million new target across the Parliament.
Finally, we're on this building site in Stevenage and all of these brilliant new homes being put up. I was just speaking to the team who are working on it. But one of the problems people have at the moment is mortgage rates, is being able to get a mortgage. The Bank of England will make a decision tomorrow about whether they cut rates. If they do, it won't be by much. Are you confident that new homes for private sale will be in reach for people?
Well, I think we are seeing a change in market conditions, which is broadly positive. You'll recall we announced during the election a mortgage guarantee scheme to help more first-time buyers access home ownership, those in many cases who could afford the repayments on a mortgage but perhaps don't have that deposit from the bank of mum and dad. So we are looking very seriously at this area and what might need to be done on the demand side to ensure that, yes, we're moving more people into genuinely affordable social rent on the one hand, but more people into home ownership, because the dream of home ownership has become a pipe dream for far too many people across the country, and we do need to see more, particularly first-time buyers, move in to that tenure of housing.
And of the 1.5 million homes, can we expect 40% of those to be affordable, or are you still ironing out exactly how many beyond new towns will be affordable?
We are still ironing it out. Hopefully we've made some positive signals in the direction we want to go. Our golden rules on grey belt, green belt release sites, if you like, high levels of affordable. The New Towns Code will see high levels of affordable going forward. I think it's not quite as simple as putting a raw number on how many of the 1.5 million, partly because some will come forward through government grant and we have a better sense of what that will achieve. But on the developer contribution side, if you like, depends in what ways we strengthen 106, which is absolutely our intention, how many more can come through that route as general supply increases. But it is absolutely our intention to deliver the biggest increase in social and affordable housing in a generation as per the manifesto commitment.